We parked the RV and left with everything scattered inside, thinking we will get to it after resting up. The tail end of our troubles had only begun where we were not looking. There was a huge horse stable next to the RV site. It was providing an unlimited supply of mice to our RV. When we opened the RV door, we found out that our entire beautiful RV has been infested with rodents. I was well aware of the results of using toxins to kill rodents. We did not want to do anything to hurt other animals. We decided to go for something that was completely toxin-free. And I'm glad I had this opportunity to use it on eliminating the rodents in our RV as a test bed for using NORADs. I can then show everyone how effective it is and encourage everyone to not use toxic rodenticides. Our RV had been retrofitted when purchased new with exterior security cameras. These cameras were hooked up to a DVR with 8 channels. For monitoring rodent activity, all that needed to be done is to have monitoring cameras added to the DVR and then place them at the observation points to monitor rodent activity. The motion sensors would then start recording as mice became active around the bait stations. Now we can review recorded rodent activity when we are back in the RV in a few days. If all goes well, we will see the mice come around and consume the bait. Given the large rodent population in the RV, the baseline test will provide initial insight into their activity in preparation for the final efficacy tests. Okay, let's see what we've got. Oh wow. Yeah, they've been busy. Yeah, they've been very busy here. There's more down here, but they haven't finished it off yet. And they've even moved the baiting station a little over. They are loving it. So what I'm going to do is add some more bait for the ones still coming in. Now what we need to do is keep some feeding to show. I would say 3 to 4 days and they should be all gone. So I want to add more bait to all the bait stations and then come back and monitor again. There will be some live mice video clips, so if you are mice shy, then please beware. Let's look at the video clips to see its efficacy. And I'm hoping that after watching this, you'll be able to also purchase a sample for yourself at a deep discount that we provided online. And because you'll be able to be rest assured that your love of nature and traveling in your truck or RV, or even in your home, does not have to be hampered by knowing that you've used something toxic in order to kill those pesky rodents. And there has been zero rodent activity. I was hoping all had not been already eliminated. I may have waited too long. We had something in the neighborhood of 60, 70 rodents here. Now they seem to be all dead. They haven't come around. And that means that NORADs completely eliminated 60 to 70 mice. We verified that they get dispatched with a little over a day. That's the good news. The bad news is I don't have any more footage to show you. I'm going to be patient and wait for a little bit longer. Any visiting rodents, and we'll be able to show the rodent activity for a second time. To help entice them to go into the live cage, I'm going to put a little bit of bait right at the entry here. Kind of nudge it open so that they can see it and then take interest and go in and take the bait. We need a couple of good samples over a period of several days. I personally know it works, but I haven't actually had camera footage. Now I'm hoping that by the camera footage, I'll be able to show this to everyone. By the way, poison baits do not work as well anymore. I've tested poison long ago. Especially rats, they have built a resistance, are also smart enough to actually take a taste test and then not take the bait. You can see it was already caught on the 13th. When did it get in? I don't see it on the 11th, This is on the 12th. Then starts poking around. And then it starts tasting the stuff I put at the post. And it goes in there. In about 1 day after placing the bait, you see no more activity. Let me go forward a little more. It takes about a day. As I recall, based on the timing, on the camera exactly when it died. There, it has no more activity. Studies have shown that rodents carry the COVID virus. This according to at least one study done in New York during the COVID pandemic. It becomes airborne when mice urine dries. There's really no if we are getting exposed to it since there are no signs. I believe rodents of all kinds should be bothered out in the country, but they really should not be allowed to stay and proliferate in human living spaces. I hope that as a result of all this testing, we can finally do away with poisoning wildlife, but also protect ourselves and loved ones. I mean, we know that rodents are even getting immune to the anticoagulants baits, and they're becoming leery, especially the bigger rodents, such as rats. They're wising up to what to eat and what not to eat. They sample, and a little bit, and stop eating when they get a little sick, even though they have been already harmed. Fortunately for NORADs, it's all food-based, no toxins. There's no way for them to distinguish between the food-based active ingredients, as well as the inert ingredients and what they normally consume. My experience, after many years of trial and error and coming up with a secret recipe, has shown clearly that they just don't know when to stop eating NORADs. They love it. I look forward to doing another test. Unfortunately, my beloved RV has become a lab, but it's a small price to pay. Because if we see that we can maybe double, triple the amazing efficacy compared to old baits, then it will be quite obvious to use it instead. Millions of households can be made more safe without risking the environment and wildlife. I want to give them an additional incentive to get in there. I know they like to have water, so I'm going to put another baiting station with some water in it, and that gets them interested in coming into the live cage where the bait is. So it's important to note rodent behavior is taking a taste test to see if it's safe. And now here we are on like the second day. They didn't really eat much. They're seeing was there an effect? If there isn't, then their caution will reduce. What happens in the case of toxins is that toxic rodenticides alert them that they got sick and they don't come back. They're sick. They might be in that mode for days. And it's a terrible way to go for any creature. But with this, they don't notice that there's anything that happened. They don't feel sick, and so they keep coming back. So in a matter of a few more days, they're going to start actually actively feeding, and then we'll see the result. In a real-life situation, they would just eat their fill and die within a couple of days. Even though we cannot have them around and we have to get rid of the ones inside our home, we can do it in a safe manner now. Scientific data collected shows that they nibble test, they taste test, they go back, and if any one of them gets sick, the word's out they won't touch the rest. Something to keep in mind when placing the baits is to place them where there is already signs of rodent activity. Same way they finish it all in a few days with the first batch I placed on the RV floor. I did that to confirm there was any activity. By the way, you don't need live cages for NORADs to work. We're using live cages to show how long it takes for NORADs to work after one consumes the bait. Let's zoom back to the first feeding. The clip shows that the lid dropped after the lever got tripped on June 5th, 29 minutes past midnight. 2 hours later, it continues to feed. Then on June 6th at around 2 o'clock, it is the last time an activity was noted showing the rodent expired. It was moving actively until the ingredients began to work. This is another observation point showing NORADs really gets rid of the critter. In my experience, it takes anywhere from 1 day and a half for the rodents to pass. In order to use NORADs, open the container. Choose an area where you see rodent activity that is also away from other rodents that you might want to prevent from eating it. You can take roughly half of the bait and then put it on the lid. Leave the other half in the box. Also add 3 tablespoons of water on top to prevent the rodents from scattering the bait. Check on a daily basis. You will see signs of rodent activity immediately if you have any mice. When you see some of the bait is gone, you can be sure it is getting rid of them. If you have many mice like I do in this RV, just open a new container and place it in the same place until all signs of rodent activity is gone. Looking forward to any questions on this video if you have any. If you have these critters milling about in your RV or your home, it's good to know on actual camera footage how well it works in eliminating rodents. Wildlife including foxes, cougars, owls, birds of prey, pets, cats, dogs can even eat the dead rodent and not be hurt by the non-toxic NORADs. Always remember to dispose of the dead rodent properly. When rodents get sleepy, they tend to go to their den to go to sleep. They're not going to be hanging out in the open. Check with your State Department of Health on their recommendations on how to dispose of the remains. In conclusion, we have demonstrated that non-toxic NORADs works very well in eliminating rodents. We have also shown that it is a humane way of eliminating rodents living around humans. We have shown that once a rodent takes NORADs, rodent elimination only takes 1 to 2 days. NORADs is sold by Johnster Incorporated, the company I founded. Check our website listed below. We commonly offer discounts over the already low prices.